Well, good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Tonight, this afternoon, this evening. This is the cool part about our class, right? All of us are in different time zones all across the world, and yet here we are together in the same chat room, watching the same video, interacting together live for this class. So this is Smart English Live, English for academic purposes. If this is your first time here, I am Joshua Porter. I'm the director of Spokane College of English Language in beautiful Spokane, Washington. Right now, the roads are really icy and snowy, and most people are cuddled up, curled in their home. But I wasn't going to let that ice or those road conditions, stop me from being right here with you today. I'm excited to, get something off the camera there. I'm excited to learn English with you. I always say with my students because we are always learning English. I will never say you are going to learn English today because we are learning English. English is something that is always growing, always changing, always expanding, and our knowledge of it needs to do the same, always grow, change, and expand. So here we are. I'm saying hello to people in the chat. Alejandra, hi. Rosa, hi. Diri, hi. Steve, Saleh, Sarbajit. We have so many familiar faces here. Welcome. Glad you're here. We have some new faces too. We have Romeo Montague, which I'm sure is your real name. Does everybody get the reference? Romeo Montague, the Montagues and Capulets. William Shakespeare, one of the great and world's most famous writers. William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet play. Romeo Montague is one of the main characters' names. Jundi Milton, hi, hello. You're from Costa Rica. Awesome! Costa Rica, beautifully warm right now, I'm sure. Melinda, thank you. Yes, the nickname Handsome Teacher has become popular. She also, for some reason, I'm not sure if you're calling me Daddy Chimp and Uncle Chimp. Is that a new nickname? Don't know that one. That's fun, though. Young Life is here. Or that's just French Leo's nickname. Jose, what's up, Jose? Jose's in Mexico, if it's the same Jose that has been showing up. And Nasser is here. Oh my gosh, we have so many great students. Ibrahim, hello, how are you? All right, Selma, hi, if I didn't say hi. So, hello everybody, we're gonna get started right away today. Oh, Karen, thank you, hi, hello Karen. Guapo teacher, English though, come on, we're using English. I know what guapo means, but, and thank you, you're very sweet, but English. Engel is new. Hi, Engel Kim. Are you from Korea, maybe? I don't know. Devinder, Kumar, hello, how are you? Let's see. Okay, so everybody's saying hi. Jendi, hi. Welcome, glad you guys are here. Let's get started on class today. We're gonna go over the answers for our premium subscribers' homework yesterday. Bangladesh, Arif is here as well. Reem, hello. Canvas Consulting Coach. Oh, Luciana. Hello, Luciana. It's good to see you. I was like, who's Canvas Consulting Coach? Luciana. Very cool. I didn't know you did that. That's awesome. And then our student whose name is in Arabic in the chat, and I can't read Arabic. I'm sorry. Jujay also. Rose. I'm sorry, Rose. I thought that was a comment. Someone changed their name to I am sorry, Rosa. Vivek, is that you? That's my guess. Anyway, very funny if so, clever. All right. Yes, Sarbajit, I will do that right now for you. Let me go ahead and get you on there. Give me just a moment. Okay, so basically what we're going to do in this class, bear with me as I'm adding one of our premium subscribers' students to make sure he's all good and set up. What we're going to do is we're going to go over the homework from last lesson, which was a listening lesson. and that was on the topic of climate change, also known as global warming, from past documents. So, okay, Sarabajit, that should be completed for you, okay? So just refresh your screen or log back out, log back in, and you should be able to see yourself as a premium subscriber now. Okay. Oh, Zanib. Okay, so not Vivek. Is Vivek here though? I haven't seen him. Hopefully he's here. Sarabjit got the email. Good. So that's how quick things work here. If you guys want to be premium subscribers, that is how fast it can happen. It's awesome. So here is Smrt Live. Here's the Smrt Curricula landing page. Here are some of the countries that it is taught in the US. We have just 2 cities, Coeur d'Alene, which is Spokane's neighbor, and Spokane. We work together, us 2 colleges, NIC and Spokane. In fact, if you come and study here with me, you can pathway directly into an amazing program at North Idaho College. So we have lots of classes to offer, and you should definitely sign up as a premium subscriber. Now, if you are interested in becoming one, go ahead and go to the link that I shared in the chat. And also check out our new site. You guys have seen in the past, I've brought you to the USA English site. This is my college. This is where you would go to college if you come here and study with me. These are our university partners, and this is the curricula. And there's a big dorky guy in that photo there. So if you're interested, check out our site and apply if you want. Vivek is here, good. Okay, French Leo also, what's up? And Nitesh, hi, good to see you. Okay, Aaron is here also. Hey Aaron, good to see you guys. I'm so glad you guys keep coming back to class, showing up. That's important for your studies. So check out our lesson as well. But what I was going to do with that is show you, I'm going to take attendance for our premium subscribers. Now that Sarbaji is in there also, and I'm going to kind of show you one of the lessons. So this is the lesson we went over last week. These are the vocabulary words we talked about. And then our premium subscribers completed the exercise for their homework. So I'm going to correct the homework or go over the answers to the homework really quickly with us. Here were our words. Did anybody have questions about the vocabulary words? Do you want more explanation? If so, now's the time to ask. We can talk about it with the whole class. Akram is here. Hello. Okay. Let me see. Just making sure I get everybody's comments. This is for all of YouTube. This is on the channel, this class. However, the access to the curricula, the access to the class, and also the lessons right here with corrected feedback from me, personalized feedback, is for premium subscribers. So let's take a look. Looking at some of these words, skeptical. Synonyms would be doubtful or unconvinced. Skeptical, when you don't quite believe something, that's an adjective. And here's an example sentence. Premium subscribers have this account. You can request example sentences from me. I will share them with anybody who would like these as example sentences. This word, unjustly, is unfairly or wrongly. It's an adverb, ly. Ly is a good indicator of an adverb. So as I'm making notes here, ly, the suffix ly, generally means that we are talking about an adverb. Now that's pretty low-level English, not low-level, intermediate English, knowing that suffix and the meaning of the word form. But it's good to review. It's good to refresh ourselves in that knowledge. So please remember to restudy earlier English as well. Okay, so back to our page here. Dire, We talked about dire. It's an adjective, means terrible or serious. Those are synonyms. Presupposes. That's a verb, which means assumes or accepts, and it's usually a fact that, or an assumption we treat like a fact that leads to another conclusion. But you need the first conclusion or the first fact or belief to reach the second or third. Compelling. That's an adjective, unconvincing and undeniable. Droughts. Remember, lack of water. The opposite is floods. All right. Rosa, I can share the notes after class. Yes, absolutely. Adjective, impending. ing, that's a present participle adjective. Imminent or approaching. Imminent's another good academic vocabulary word. Pertinent. These are all academic vocabulary words, by the way. These are words that you very well might see on the TOEFL or IELTS exam. Words like pertinent, eminent, presupposes, those type of vocabulary words are academic in nature. You can use them casually also in most situations. But when I say academic, I mean they are good, precise words to be used in academic essays or lectures, which our lesson today is about presentations and lectures, so we will talk more about that. Here were the pre-listening questions, the reading, the general thesis and statement thesis I will be reviewing for any students who shared those. I checked yesterday. I think some students were finishing up and they shared them with me, so I saw a couple new emails this morning. I will get to corrections on those and get those back to you. So this is kind of what you get to work with as a premium subscriber. Lots of content, so that is very good. All right. Question from Nora. Is presuppose the same as suppose? I suppose is like saying I think. I suppose I'll go to the movies this weekend. I think I'll go to the movies. I suppose, Neil is sick today because he was coughing yesterday. I suppose that's true. It's like a guess. Presuppose is a more academic term that means a very similar conclusion, a very similar assumption of fact, but presuppose is a verb that is always followed by a logical second or third assumption. So it's used more in academic writing, in intellectual conversation, things like that. Hopefully that helps you distinguish between the two words. Cliché, Jundi asks, cliché. A cliché is something that is so expected, it's like, ugh, it's cheesy. To fulfill a stereotype is a cliché, right? Many of my students come to my classes. I'm an American. I was born in America. I speak American English. But they say, Josh, why aren't you eating McDonald's every day? And why aren't you super fat and unhealthy? Because I exercise and I try to rock climb and work out and be out in nature. And that's an assumption that is based on a stereotype, right? Not all Americans are fat and lazy and eat McDonald's every day. Many are, but I'm not, so I don't fulfill that stereotype, right? And not every overweight or obese person is obese or overweight as a result of their own choices. They can make very healthy, smart choices and be overweight. We learned about that in our academic reading about obesity in an earlier lesson. But I don't fulfill that stereotype. If I did fulfill that stereotype, right? If I was wearing like a big American flag t-shirt covered in chicken grease because I eat KFC and McDonald's every day, and I'm lazy and I don't, really contribute to society, then I would be fulfilling the negative stereotype of Americans. So that would be a cliche. You'd be like, oh, Josh is such a cliche. So hopefully that elaborates on that word. I used ly, generally. Yes, I use a lot of ly words, Sarbajit. I do. Adam, it's okay if you're late. You're still on time for the new lesson. We're just going over last week's lesson. Sarbajit, yes, you can do the homework later. No problem. Let's see here. This is for the whole channel. and the whole YouTube, Selma. So it's for everyone on the internet. This class can be attended by everyone on the internet if they want. Anyone who has access to YouTube can access this. But we do have features of our class that are only for premium subscribers, like the homework and homework corrections that Sarbajit's talking about. So Rosa gets those, Sarbajit gets those, our premium subscribers get those. Famous TV show Lost. Okay, that's a digression. Let's get back on track here. Reread your grammar books, Romeo. Good advice. Esra, hello. Hi, how are you? She says, hi, teacher. Okay, so, like the people we see in The Biggest Loser. Yeah, exactly. Although, they're trying to better their lives, right? They're trying to lose their weight and become healthy. So they made past poor decisions. Now they're going to make future good decisions and present good decisions. Digambar, hello, how are you? Are you a new student here? Welcome. If everybody notices that there's a new student, please welcome them. French Leo's doing that, and Adnan's doing that, and Steve's doing that. Thank you, guys. I think it's very important as students who have been here before to welcome our new students. Say hello. We want to be a welcoming class, right? Everybody's welcome here. Okay. Junk food is yummy but not healthy. Nitesh points out sometimes it's difficult to refrain. Yes. For instance, when I go on road trips, I'm usually inclined to eat fast food, which is bad. But then I feel guilty and I go for a nature hike and I feel better after that. Anyway, okay, so we are going to begin our new lesson today. I think that's enough of the corrections from last week. What is our new lesson today? Well, I'm glad you asked. Our new lesson today is on presentation skills. So this is our English 140, English for Academic Purpose class. And we are going to start talking about presentation skills. So for premium subscribers, you're going to get to create your own presentation. And I will correct it and look at it and help you edit a presentation document so that you could actually use this. We're going to do, the curricula says we're going to do 3. We're going to do perhaps 2. Our first one is going to be a narrative presentation. It's just going to be anecdotal. These are good words that you should know. I'm going to write them down in our notes here. Narrative. What does narrative mean? And anecdotal. Oh, I spelled it correctly. I thought I was going to spell that incorrectly. Oops, I did spell it incorrectly. So anecdotal is spelled terribly, and autocorrect is not working. It's not a word I spell very often. Anecdotal. Okay, anecdotal. So notice I didn't know how to spell the word correctly off the top of my head. It's still morning here. I haven't had my coffee yet. But what did I do? Autocorrect is a convenient way, but it doesn't always work. You can see right now in Google Docs it's not working. So it's not something we can trust. So I look at the definition, I look at how the word is spelled, and I say it in my mind, I say it out loud, anecdotal, anecdotal. And then I go back and I free type it, anectadol. Is that right? I should check it. So you see it's still not correct. Another way you can do it, I wish it did show suggestions, because if it shows the suggestion, don't simply click it, but look at the suggestion and then go back and delete it and free type it. Type it again. ANAC, so ANECDOTL, search instead, but we have the correct spelling here, of an account. Not necessary, true, or reliable, because it's based on personal accounts. It's just like a personal story. What happened yesterday? That would be an anecdote. Usually it's something memorable though, an event that happens that you can remember. So ANECDOTAL, ANECDOTAL. So anecdotal. Now we have the word. A personal story. That's all it really is. a story. A narrative is a story. So it's the story of what happened. Now, it could be a true thing, and it usually is a true thing. A narrative is usually a true story, but it's your personal account. It's how you believe the event happened. So those are two words you should know. Our first presentation is going to be anecdotal, but I don't even want to talk about the outline of the presentation yet. I want to talk about, Amy Washington is here. Hi, Amy. Thank you for the spelling. That's my girlfriend, Amy, who lives in Vancouver, Canada. She is an excellent speller, so thank you for helping out there. Anyway, today, Rosa, we are going over presentation skills. So, no one welcomed you when you first came here, Akram. Well, welcome. Everybody welcome Akram. Hello. Okay. We're not going to tell a story, Selma. Not directly. We're going to look at how we would tell a story if we were going to present that story to an audience. So we want to think about a few things. I'm going to make notes here about what we're discussing. So for presentations, and I'm just talking about presentations in general, but of course we're going to focus in on academic presentations. For presentations, we want to think about a few things. We want to first consider who is our audience. Now, this matters. Who is our audience? The way I like to describe this to students who have never done a presentation before is, I like to ask this question. Do you speak to your parents or your grandparents the same way you speak to your friends? Let me just ask that question to the chat. Do you speak to your parents? Do you speak, I'll write the question here on our document. So my question is, do you speak, sorry, let me get the screen back up here for you. My question to you, do you speak to your parents or grandparents the same way you speak to your friends? We're talking about casual and formal. Felipe says no. Selma says no. You are the audience today for me, my lecture. Yeah, you're right, Romeo. So a lot of no's, right? I'm pretty sure none of us do this. Bonchen says no. Romeo says no. French Leo says, I adapt my language style in function of the people. I like your sentence. I'm going to change it a little bit. I'm going to steal it and put it up here. I'll put it in quotes since it's French Leo. I adapt my language style in function of the people. I understand your meaning, but I would say something closer to, I adapt my language style to the function for the particular audience. Now your sentence is awesome. I adapt my language style to the function for the particular audience. And I spelled audience wrong. And I'm ignoring my own advice, right? I didn't free type that word, but I'm moving quickly here. I adapt my language style, and we could just delete this part, the function, because adapt sort of means to the function. So to the particular audience. I take it back. Now it's awesome. So I adapt my language style to the particular audience. That is important. We all said no to this, right? We don't speak the same way to different groups. We change our language. That's what this class is about, actually, is academic English. So we're focusing on one aspect of English, which is academic style English, for essays, for presentations, for interaction at university or college, or in the business world. It's important to be more formal, more professional if you are in business. Felipe adapts his language style as well. I speak to my mother a little like I speak to my friends. You have fun together. And Nora, that does happen, but you understand my meaning, right? We become more respectful when we talk to our parents. Yes, I like the word respectful. We talk about casual versus formal language, right? Casual versus formal language. Casual is like slang or abbreviations like text messages. I say text message speak. Examples, gonna, right? That's not a real word. And then formal is like academic or polite language. So academic or polite language. That is academic English. Now it is different sometimes even within formal language. Spoken versus written is a little different, and we'll go over that more and more. But we do adapt, we do change. So the level of formality depends on the people you are speaking to, your relationship with them, and the situation you're in. Selma has great advice there. Yes, I like that. So these are sentences I'm going to just include here. Selma's quote. Okay, so we're making notes here for class, and I'll share these with you at the end to our premium subscribers. Here are our quotes as well, which are great. Thank you for that. All right, so yes, we change how we speak. So our presentation, who is our audience? That's the first question we should ask. For our practice purposes, your audience is going to be your classmates and your teacher. So that is who I want you to focus on. So we want it to be our ultimate presentation, our final presentation is going to be academic in nature. Our penultimate, if we're doing two, our second to last presentation is going to be narrative. So we're going to talk about our lives. We're just going to practice our skills. So we think about our audience. Who's our audience? Then we'll need to choose a topic that interests us, okay? And that we can present to the class. Here's a question you should continually ask yourself as you form an essay or a presentation. Now, during this class, let me check our time. Okay, we still have half a class left. During this class, you're going to hear me compare a presentation to an academic essay a lot. Now, they are almost the same thing. There are differences, yes, but the way that we choose our topics, the way that we deliver the information, those overarching capacities are the same between academic writing and academic presenting. It's very similar. We make an outline. There's still a logical order of operations and delivery of information. So those are similar. So you're going to hear me talk about academic essay and presentations as sort of the same thing, because in a lot of ways they are. Okay? Just checking the chat questions here. Ibrahim says the only difference between casual and formal language is vocabulary. Not true. Indirect questions, for example. It's not just vocabulary, it's grammatical and syntactic structure. Here's an example. If you work in a business that is in the hospitality industry, you would not ask a direct question. Direct questions are using question words, and it is a direct way to get information. An example, where is your car? Where is your car is a question you might ask if you work at a hotel and you want to go get the car of someone because you're a valet. Where is your car? It's considered rude to ask a direct question. It's fine if you're talking to your friend, hey, where's your car? It's casual in its nature. An indirect question is more formal because it is it is more polite. The structure is different. So you'd say, you'd use a noun clause and an introductory phrase like, would you mind telling me where your car is? Not where is your car, where your car is. That's called, it's inversion when we make a question and we invert the words. And we use no inversion in our indirect questions. We set it up with a indirect question or indirect question phrase, like, would you mind telling me, or could you tell me if, or I would please like to know. And then you can use a noun clause with no inversion, where your car is. So that's an example where it goes beyond vocabulary and it's actually grammatical structure. It's pretty cool. I love to nerd out over the grammar and syntax of those type of things. But you can learn formal English that is esoteric. That's another good word. I like that word. I use it a lot. You guys might want to know what it means. I'll put it on our list. Esoteric. This is for a specific audience. So esoteric is an adjective for a specific audience. Esoteric language is like legal language. Jargon is a word that we use casually to mean esoteric language. Okay, so grammar and vocab modify whether communicating information is formal or casual. Let's see, classmate, friend, informal English. Yeah, classmates, friends, some argument topic. I still don't understand narrate in an oral presentation. That's okay, Rosa. So we are just going to tell a story. That's a narration or a narrative in a presentation. Imagine you have 5 minutes to tell all your classmates a story. They're sitting around you and you get 5 minutes to simply tell them a story. But this is a story that you've practiced over the years. So we want to deliver the information in a logical order. It's not like a casual conversation with friends where you say, oh, yesterday, yeah, I think I did this, and oh, I forgot to tell you. It's not just conversation. It's the story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So we start, we inform, and we finish. That's what we're talking about here. It's just the simplest version of a presentation. Selma says jargon, yeah. Mm-hmm. Narrator in oral presentation, telling a story to our audience. Yes, Romeo, correct. Would me mind to tell me where is your car? No, Jujay. It's a little different. I will type out what I said so you guys can see the sentence. My example sentence was example of an indirect question. Would you mind telling me where your car is? Would you mind telling me where your car is? That's an indirect question. Direct question would be, where is your car? Okay, so you notice the words car and is. Here we use inversion. This uses inversion. Where is your car? Your car is there. Here we use no inversion, and that's just linguistic terms that mean we switch the verb and the object. So here you say your car is, or subject in the verb. No inversion here. Whew. Okay. You notice car and is, the order of the words. Okay. The most direct one is the top one here, direct question. This is direct, this is indirect. You have to develop in yourself to connect with each audience. Yes, you need to practice to connect with your audiences. Esther, I was born in the US. I do know English well, thank you. we have to follow sort of plot. Yeah, Selma, so a plot is in fiction. That's a term we use in fiction writing. But it just means order of events. That's all a plot is. Let's see. Would you mind lending me your pen? Good example of indirect question, Sarbajit. Yes. All the presentations are in a formal way. So what we're doing is we're just going to outline a casual presentation. The first one's going to be casual, and then we're going to talk about a formal presentation. And this first one we're going to throw together in just one class. The next presentation we're going to do over 3 classes. So it's going to be more in depth. But I just want to go over good presentation skills and how to outline our presentation. So for our first presentation, we're going to choose a topic that interests us. So back to our notes, the second thing we want to think of is who is our audience? Second thing is what is an interesting topic? Okay. Now I say interesting. Interesting is the important word here. In academics, your teacher may assign you a presentation, okay? And you may have no choice about your presentation. But even if your topic is assigned to you, you have a choice about how you deliver it, whether or not you make it interesting, right? So, if I tell you as your teacher, you must, right? Must. Obligation. You must do a presentation about human effect on climate change, okay? So you have your topic. Human effect on climate change over the last 10 years. Human effect on climate change over the last 10 years. That's your presentation. So I give you a presentation and you're forced to do it. You can think, okay, all right, but what's my angle? What is my lens through which I will view this topic and then present it to everyone? I'll give you a more general example so that we can kind of discuss it in the chat here. Felipe has to leave. Oh, I'm sorry that it's an intellectual challenge. You're using the words intellectual challenge, so this might be the right class for you. You're welcome to stick around. If not, if you feel it's too challenging, go check out one of Neil's classes or Abby's classes. Those are great as well. So you can brush up a little bit there, help make you feel a little more confident, and then come back because we'd love to have you, okay? But have a good day, Felipe. We'll miss you. All right. So it is important. Nora says, what's important is not an interesting topic. It's an interesting personality. You can make a boring topic interesting. Nora, you're mostly right, or you're partly right, I'll say. I'm not going to say mostly. You're partly right. An interesting personality is very important. You're right. But I would argue that anyone can become interesting. Absolutely. I find every single person I meet in this life to be very interesting. They don't always know how to show it, though. So many of my students are incredibly interesting people, but they're not quite sure how to show that to everybody because they're shy, or I would argue, rather than blaming it on being shy, they just simply haven't had experience talking to people. The more you present and the more you speak with people, the better you will become at conversation, at presenting, at speaking skills. So do it as much as possible. Selma says every person is good at something. And I would argue every person can be good at presenting. It takes practice, and you're not going to be good right away if you've never done it before. Maybe, I shouldn't say that. Maybe you're a natural. You can just naturally present very well. I will tell you that now I consider myself to be good at presenting. I'm not going to say great, but I'm good. I can present to many people and feel confident and comfortable, but I've done it a lot. I present a lot. I have hosted a radio show here in Spokane, Washington. I have talked to teachers in countries, in various countries around the world, America And in Mexico, I've presented to teachers. And in Haiti, I presented to teachers and medical professionals. So I've had that experience, so I feel more confident and comfortable. But my goal is to teach you how to feel more confident and comfortable as you present, even if it's to big audiences or even if it's to one person that might be intimidating. Like if you have to do a presentation for your boss at a company, it might not be scary because there's a bunch of people looking at you. It's scary because that person's an important person in your life and for your company, and you want to do well. So that can make your heart beat a little faster and make you feel nervous. But if you practice and if you have your plan for your presentation, you should be fine. So it's so important to plan before we do it. Jundi had a presentation about space, and everyone was just looking at you confused. Could be for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes I present to my students and they look at me confused, and then I realize I should slow my rate of speech because I know my audience and they're English learners and they might need me to go a little bit slower. So as you know your audience, you can also read your audience while you are presenting. Okay. Esther says, the problem is that other people, when they can tell you that you can't speak English well, they don't actually spend time talking with you. That is why it's hard to practice. Yes, that can be true. And those sound like mean people. People that say, oh, you don't speak English well, goodbye. Okay, well, we have to learn a language, right, through practice. So what someone should say is, oh, I notice you're learning English. Do you want to talk with me and practice your English? That's what they should say. But we're here for you, Esther, so we will help you practice. Naitesh says, why do you say that? My presentation is too long and boring. Aaron makes a good point. He says, my presentation is long and boring. Change your presentation, Aaron. Change it. Change it right now. Don't be boring, okay? If you feel bored and it's your presentation, there's absolutely 0% chance anyone else will find it interesting, okay? That's a main point that we want to talk about. Here where I say, what is an interesting topic? It has to be interesting. It has to be engaging. Think about it this way. Some of you, I think, want to perhaps become teachers in the future of English, and that's awesome. Here's the challenge you will face. Grammar is boring. I like it because I'm a weirdo, and for some reason I really like grammar, but most people don't, because it is a pretty boring topic. And it's my job as a teacher to make grammar interesting, to make it engaging and entertaining. So to take something that is naturally boring and make it into something that people will listen to you and learn from you, can be a difficult task. So, Aaron, if you feel your presentation is boring, we need to change it. Let me ask you this, Aaron. What is your topic? What is your topic? And then maybe we can talk about it a little bit to make it more interesting. Romeo says the narrator has to build a connection with the audience. Presume what wants of the audience. Yes, I'm going to take that first part. And good use of the semicolon there, Romeo. Good job. And I'll put that in our quotes for the day. So we had French Leo and Selma. I like Romeo's quote as well. I'm going to truncate it and just use your first clause. Narrator has to build a connection with the audience. And that is Romeo. Okay. So, a narrator, and I'm going to change and use an article here. A narrator has to build connection with their audience. A connection with their audience. So a narrator has to build a connection with their audience. Yes, absolutely. How can you connect? We're going to talk about skills like body language, rate of speech, tone of voice, volume of voice. All of these things are important. So these are a lot of speaking skills. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later. First, we're just going to talk about how we outline it, and then we'll go over the delivery, okay? But I agree, absolutely. Science is all about fact. Who's saying that one? Science is all about fact. Jundi says science is obnoxious. What? Science is awesome. Science is so cool. Let me find out how this conversation started. Jundi says science is all about fact and everyone hates facts. We shouldn't hate facts. They are important, right? But I kind of agree with Jundi in this way. Science to some can be boring, and it does take a certain skill set to make it interesting. I would encourage you to check out Mr. Bill Nye if you haven't already. Bill Nye, he's got a new Netflix show coming up soon. This guy's awesome. He had a show, a science show, when I was a kid. Here's the trailer. So he had a science show. I will paste this link in the chat. When I was a kid, and he made science interesting and fun. He's a very smart scientist who presents in a fun way. He has the silly bow tie, right? So science can be boring, but if you have good presentation skills, Bill Nye has great presentation skills. You can make it fun. People don't want to watch the full presentation. Why do you think that, Sarbajit? And what are you talking to? Or talking about? Are you talking about a presentation that's like an hour long or 5 minutes? What? Let me know. A nice presentation, French Leo says, needs to have some pictures because sometimes are visual people. Some people are visual people and others are hearing person. I think you mean auditory learners. So we have visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic learners is movement, doing. So yes, French Leo makes a good point. A presentation should have visuals. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. That's part of the planning process. So we can include that in one of our points here. What visuals? These are questions we should ask ourselves. Questions we should ask ourselves as we create our presentations. Who is our audience? What is an interesting topic? What are visuals that represent my ideas? What are visuals that represent my ideas? So, one bit of advice I'm going to give a lot of advice actually. Advice for presentations. The first bit of advice is make it personal. Make it personal. Somehow attach it to your life. Even if you're talking about science, how does that affect your life? Now there are appropriate levels of personalizing a presentation, but it should be personal. Your essays should be personal, even academic essays. Now that doesn't mean tell a story about your crazy cousin every time you talk about an academic topic. What it does mean is use your voice. Use how your topic relates to you in a way that will also relate to your audience. Okay? So if something is important to you, if it relates to you in a way that it will relate to your audience as well, that's what makes it interesting. If someone believes that what you are telling them has no impact on their life, if it has no bearing on how they exist in the world, they're not going to care to learn anything more about it, right? Oh, that doesn't apply to me. That doesn't pertain to me. While we are social beasts, social creatures, we are also selfish in the way that we want purpose. We want information that we gather to have a meaning in our own lives. Why are we all here? We're here to help each other, right? To help each other learn English, to learn together. But we also have that meaning of, I need English for my life. So it's those two things can exist simultaneously. We can need English on a personal level because we want to be able to do something with our life. We want to be able to go to a university in an English-speaking country, or we want to get a job that requires English skills. But we learn it together. The learning process is a shared journey, right? So make it personal. Use your voice. That doesn't mean you have to tell that crazy story about your cousin or something, but you do need to make it interesting to you. Because if it's interesting to you, it'll be interesting to your audience as well. Okay, Alejandro loves grammar too. Awesome. I'm not alone. That's good. Sergi says, yeah, insert some cats there. If you mean visuals for your presentation, yeah, sure, just a bunch of cats. Laxbas says, is oral communication different than written communication? Yes. For example, in noun clauses, we omit relative pronouns. In writing, we might say something like, I'll give you an example of written English and spoken English. So written English, we might say something like, I know that you like cats. But in spoken English, we would just say, I know you like cats. Okay? We don't usually speak the word that. I know that you like cats is a sentence we would type, we would write, we would put it in an essay or a letter. But if I speak that sentence, I would just say, I know you like cats. So there's a difference for you. Rosa says, be creative. Yeah, it is important to be creative. That's a hard thing to say as a suggestion, like, oh, just be creative. Creativity comes from a lot of different places, right? But it is something we need to consider. We are out of time for today. So we've run out of time, and I do have to go because I have a meeting. But I will tell you this: our premium subscribers, you have access to this. This is presentation 1, which is 2-4C. So Unit 2, 2-4C, presentation 1 is the title. You can find it here in the Smrt library. I will send this link to everyone after class. But you're going to choose a topic that interests you. You're going to sort of create your own presentation as we go. And it's going to be, plan it for about 5 minutes long. I don't actually want you to give this presentation. I just want you to plan it out. You'll only be able to use notes. So much like we did an outline for our essay when we were doing essay creation, we're going to create an outline for our presentation. So, notes. We've gone over notes. If you haven't taken the note class, go back and review my previous class that's on note-taking strategy. It's in the library, in our channel. So you're going to use outline structure that you can find in exercise 2. And we're going to break it down into just simple bullet point notes. I don't want full sentences. I do not want full paragraphs. I just want bullet point notes. Here's my introduction. We introduce ourselves and our topic. Body is point 1, body 2 is point 2, and then the conclusion. So this is a story about yourself. It might look something like this. Introduction. So now I'm going to write, so my name, where I grew up, and then story about my brother. And then body paragraph 1. Maybe I want to talk about my brother and I are best friends. We once had a fight. My brother won. Okay, body paragraph 2. I got my brother back. revenge, right? I felt bad. I apologized. Conclusion, I want to talk about how family is important. My brother and I didn't fight again. And we try and teach the rest of our family. Okay, I'm not using proper grammar, I'm not using complete sentences. These are just notes. This is what your essay should look like, or sorry, your presentation should look like. So this is what I want from our premium subscribers. I want you to create an outline for what your presentation would be, and it should be for 5 minutes in length, okay? And then I want you to practice it at home by yourself. Give your presentation, but not yet, okay? I just want the outline. I don't want you to practice yet because I want to talk more about presentation skills when we actually deliver it. So please submit this to me before next week. I'll review them. I'll give you guys notes for premium subscribers. If you're not a premium subscriber, you can sign up and do this if you want. Just sign up before next week. I do have to go, but as always, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everybody's wonderful comments and everybody hanging out today in class. You guys are wonderful. And I will see you next week, okay? So as always, thank you for being here. You guys are wonderful students, and I'm happy to have this intercultural, international, worldly English class for academic purposes. Please come back again. This airs live. We are live, of course, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So yeah, see you guys next week. And as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel. Also, if you want the full experience of being a student in a Smrt Live class with things like homework and teacher feedback, follow the link and become a premium subscriber. Also, if you want to see more videos from this class, check out our playlist.